Fleet Street kingpin Calvin McKenzie live and uncancelled soon. But first, it's time for foreign policy analyst and director at the Heritage Foundation, Nile Gardiner. And there have been stunning stateside developments in the foundation's fight to make Prince Harry's visa records public after he was granted permission to reside in America despite his admissions of drug use in his hit job memoir, Spare. Despite the Freedom of Information request submitted by the Heritage Foundation twice being rejected by the Department of Homeland Security, citing Harry's right to privacy, the case is now rocking Capitol Hill, with the Florida Congressman Greg Steube launching a new act to require fair enforcement of American visa laws. The cheekily named Spare Act references the Duke specifically, with Steube writing left-wing celebrities like Prince Harry, who have a self-recorded history of illegal drug use, should be subjected to the same standards and enforcement of our country's immigration laws as any other alien. I introduced the Spare Act because individuals should be deported immediately if they are caught lying on their visa application. So Nile Gardiner has the latest on this now, live from Washington, D.C. Nile, is there any chance of the Spare Act becoming law?
Well, Dan, great to be here on the show. And as you point out, this is a very significant development in Washington. This is the first piece of congressional legislation that is a byproduct, I think, of the Prince Harry immigration application issue. And we are seeing, for the first time, a member of Congress now calling for accountability from the Biden administration, from the Department of Homeland Security. So it's a significant development. I think this will be likely the first of many interventions to come from U.S. members of Congress. Yes, I do think that the floodgates will be opening. There is intense public interest, of course, in the Prince Harry immigration case in the United States. Even Newsweek has done a poll showing that 54% of Americans want to see the release of Prince Harry's immigration records. So I think this is a development of tremendous significance, and we're likely to see many more members of Congress, I think, jumping into this issue in the course of the coming months. There will also be a second federal court hearing with regard to the Prince Harry immigration records case. That is likely to be held in the autumn, perhaps the late autumn. No date has yet been set. But certainly the heat is on Prince Harry here, and there is tremendous growing pressure on the Department of Homeland Security to release Prince Harry's immigration application, so that the
because if he didn't lie, exactly what's on. Yeah, if he didn't lie, what does he have to hide? Niall, my suspicion, though, is that Harry is being protected by his mate Joe Biden in the White House.
Well, that's a very good point. The Biden administration has so far refused to release any information whatsoever regarding Harry's application. They're citing Prince Harry's privacy, even though he is one of the most public figures on the world stage right now, including in the United States. And so the arguments being put forward by the Biden administration are absolutely preposterous. They're stonewalling. They're not cooperating. And I do think you are going to see many more members of Congress who are going to say enough is enough. They want to see answers from the Biden administration. This is an administration that operates without transparency, without accountability. And it's time for U.S. officials to come clean with regard to Harry's application, what's in it.
Indeed.
Did he receive any kind of preferential treatment? We want to know exactly what Harry put down on that application.
Surely in the public interest. And it's surely in the public interest now. Now, look, let's be realistic about this. Is it possible that Harry will be deported with Biden as president, or will we have to wait for a potential second term of a President Donald Trump, who will, I think, be very supportive of this sort of bill?
Well, that's a great question. I think, firstly, with regard to the Biden administration, they will do all they can to try and stop the release of Harry's records.
They won't. They'll protect him.
It will ultimately be decided by a federal judge. But if those records are released, and if it is found that Prince Harry has lied on his application, there will be tremendous public pressure for Harry to be deported from the United States. Now, if you have a Republican president in place, you can be sure that a Republican leader would strictly enforce US immigration laws. And if Harry has broken those laws by lying on his application, I'm in no doubt that a Republican president would swiftly remove him from the United States.
Fascinating. We may see Harry and Meghan campaigning even harder for Joe Biden at the next election, Niall, if that is the case. Brilliant to have you as always. That's Nile Gardiner of the Heritage Foundation.